So, as we've discussed, the financial service industry has not only experienced significant advancements and transformations due to the rise of technology or the rapid integration of technology into business operations, but there's also a lot of force in terms of the market factors, as well as regulatory impact and regulatory pressures on them being able to adapt to new age technology, to be able to evolve their risk and regulatory implementations as well. And that's needed. And that's, as you'll see when we talk about risk tech in the course, in the risk module, there's a lot of impact of regulatory oversight in terms of how banks ingest data, categorize data, and apply governance processes to data management. So in this section, I want to discuss what the key technology considerations are that banks have to keep in mind and why they need to foster a culture of innovation to remain competitive in this new age economic landscape. And one thing to meet here is not all these different segments are operating in their own silos. There's a significant amount of collaboration between different traditional institutions, fintech startups, and also the regulators to be able to shape the future of technology in financial services. So technology can be harnessed by banks in various different areas to drive not just revenue growth, but also to be able to provide their operations as a service, right, as time goes on. Number one, digital transformation. This is the first prong here, and it's a much used industry term, digital transformation. What does it really mean? It means, in banking, it really means the process of integrating different digital technologies like cloud computing, data analytics, AI, and using these technology prongs to basically drive different aspects of banking operations and the customer experience. So you're streamlining more of the internal processes using things like AI/ML, using things like workflow management. You're also driving more efficiency in terms of how you deliver services to customers. So again, the goal of digital transformation, as we'll see in the program, in the course, is you want to provide a seamless and personalized experience to your customers. And as part of this, banks are offering online and mobile banking platforms where you can, at a minimum, perform transactions, access your account information, and interact with customer support anytime, anywhere. But you also want to be able to, at the back end, drive targeted marketing, customized product recommendations, and real-time communications to your customer. And there's also this whole notion of marketplace, which is if you're a bank and you don't offer a certain type of service that your millennial customers are interested in, something like, instant payments, right? Like a Cash App. You want to be able to offer it using a marketplace experience. That's one other key thing here. So a lot of this is driven by partnerships. The second is mobile payments, right? So the rise of smartphones is obviously fueling the growth of mobile payments and banking. You have the ability for mobile wallets and contactless payment options to basically be leveraged by customers. So you want to offer more convenience and security in terms of all the operations that folks can do through mobile payments. AI-driven insights. AI will be a constant theme in the course. The idea is that you have a vast amount of data, a tremendous volume, variety, and velocity of data that is making it easier for banks and financial institutions to leverage new age technology, whether that's a data lake or a data lake house or data warehouse. You want to be able to gain insights into how your customers are behaving. You want to detect fraud. You want to do risk management and product personalization. You'll see that in the end, all of the other technology elements like cloud computing, workflow, et cetera, are all a way for data to be able to be employed more to improve customer service and to drive net revenue per customer. So in that sense, data and AI are really the heart of banking more than any other technology area. The other is with we discussed mobile payments. On that same note, you got mobile banking, you got the ability to use bots, chatbots, voice and API banking, which are basically using more and more mobile applications and things like voice banking to interact with the bank accounts and perform transactions using voice commands. So consumers at this day and age are extremely familiar and comfortable with voice assistants like Amazon's Alexa or Apple's Siri. But the question then is, how do you integrate these into overall banking workflow and let customers perform simple day-to-day transactions such as balance checking, transfer management, bill payment, and even get personalized financial insight using voice banking. So it's a hands-free and convenient way for customers to access banking services. And on the other hand, when we talk about open banking, we'll see how APIs are important, right? So for those of you who are from a business background, API stands for Application Performance Programming Interface. Basically means connecting third-party applications to your main banking platform using these using very simple web service calls, which are secure, but also which facilitate data sharing between banks and fintechs, so that if a bank doesn't offer a certain kind of service, a fintech can, and the bank can basically ally with it. Ecosystem management, again, is important here. There's not completely a go and do it alone kind of an approach. Where applicable, banks want to collaborate and integrate with different stakeholders in the financial ecosystem, whether that's, the ubiquitous fintech, but also other financial institutions as well, and to provide that end-to-end chain to customers to be able to do more without having to leave their applications and their gardens, their so-called walled gardens. Robo advisory, on the other hand, is also an exciting way of providing digital platform capabilities in asset management and wealth management. Idea with robo advisory is that using automated algorithm-driven platforms to provide investment advisory. It's an approach which combines economics, behavioral finance with technology, data analytics, and expertise. So we'll talk about robo advisory and how to build a robo advisor when we get to that section. And then the final part here is data as a service. So DaaS, or data as a service, it's already been introduced in the ecosystem management part of things here. But the idea is that banks want to provision and provide data-related services to third-party providers. So it means having comprehensive and high-quality data sets and then analytics and insights on top of them that can help all of the different players from the institutional side get better insights into what customers want, so that your decision making, your risk management, your compliance, and customer experience are much better. And keep in mind, banks hold vast amounts of customer and transactional data, which is sitting in there for years. All of us have 3 or 4 different banking relationships. You've got maybe 1 or 2 banks where you've got credit accounts, credit unions where you have checkings and savings accounts. You've got a couple of different credit cards. You see all the data, the treasure trove of data that these companies are sitting on over time. How do you leverage that to basically drive, insights for your customers, where customers can be profiled and tailor-made solutions be made available, right? And this already not just being used to drive revenue per customer, but also to detect fraud. And you'll see when we get to the fraud, a lot of the new age fraud detection for both things like credit card fraud or anti-money laundering fraud is all in the base of profiling customer transactions to arrive at a baseline understanding of what this customer typically likes to do, and when a certain transaction is out of band to those operations.